Hello, and welcome to PHAME's YouTube tutorial series. PHAME is a fine and performing arts academy in Portland, Oregon, serving adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities. But wherever you are, we're so glad you found us online. This class is for everyone, all skill levels and all abilities. And this class, Improv, is taught by me. My name is Jason Rouse. I'll be your teacher and collaborator. How are you? For our work today, you will need enough room to sit comfortably in a space where you can make noise without distraction or without distracting anyone else. Take this video at your own pace. Pause as often as you need. Now, for this class, I will be seated, but if you prefer standing, go ahead and stand. If you'd rather sit, sit. Find your most comfortable position and we'll begin. Once again, my name is Jason Rouse. And today we will be focusing on object stories. Hello, it's good to see you again. Today we will be talking about object stories. Now, what does that mean, object stories? That's where we should start. Well, an object is really an object. This cup, these headphones, this blue recycle bin, these are all objects. Object stories is a little game where you pick an object in a room and you tell a story about it, completely made up story about it. You're just giving life to something and creating just an interesting story. If it's funny, terrific. If it's not, just make it interesting, right? And why would we do that? Well, like all of these exercises, it's meant to relax our minds and get us used to just flowing, just talking, just turning off a lot of the edit features in our brain and just let ourselves flow and tell a story. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. Doesn't matter. The idea is just to get yourself in a position where you're relaxed and comfortable enough to just go. We do it every day. I remind you every video that we're already pretty good improvisers because we improvise every second of every day of our lives, right? Just doing it on command seems to be, well, it's a little scary. I know. I feel that sometimes. But once you get the hang of it, it's no big deal. So I'm going to give you a few examples of some object stories, and then you'll be able to practice this on your own, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I hope. So let's see. Let's see this cup of coffee here. So we'll do object story number 1, coffee cup. So I got this cup probably when I was about 8 years old, 8 or 9. I was on a family camping trip with my dad and my brothers, and we stopped at this little filling station, a gas station, way out there, so we could get gas in my dad's truck. And we went inside the little store there, my brothers and I. We were looking around. We like to look at all the candy and things, but they had like 50 of these coffee cups, and I thought, you know what? I don't drink coffee, but there's something about this cup that I like, and all of these cups, they looked really beautiful sitting up there. So I just kept looking at this cup and thinking, God, I could drink a lot of things out of it. I could drink milk out of it. I could drink water. I could drink Coca-Cola. And so I went and I asked my dad, I said, Dad, can I have some money? And he thought I was going to buy junk food or something. He's like, no. I said, well, there's this really cool cup in there. And he's like, what? And so I went in and I showed him the cups. And he said, these are great cups. And they all say Artslandia on them, which is weird because that's the name of an organization that exists now. But he said, okay. And so I picked out this cup. And I really like it a lot. And I've had it ever since then. So going on over 30 years, almost 35 years, I've had this mug and this cup. And I really love it. That's it. That's an object story. Whatever. So ordinarily I would ask you to pick something, but I grabbed this from the floor, this blue recycle bin that I have. So it lets me know that this is the one that I put the recycling in. So I will do another story about this. Okay. So I got this at a garage sale because I liked the color blue, and I thought, you know what? It was a quarter. I have a quarter. I'm gonna buy it. I didn't know what this symbol meant. I just thought it was a cool sort of futuristic, like that was like Star Trek or something. I had no idea what it was. So I came and I brought it home, and people would comment. They would say, "Oh, you have a blue trash can. That's interesting." Most people, I guess, have black, maybe white trash cans. And they said, "Oh, it's a recycle." They would see the recycling logo and say, "Oh, it's a recycling can." And I didn't know how they knew that. I said, "Well, why do people keep saying that?" They said, "Well, that's the recycling logo." And I said, "This is the recycling logo?" I had no idea. It doesn't. I guess it's just arrows pointing around. I had no idea what it was. Anyway, so I got this, and I've had this a few years now, and I like to put all my recyclings in it. But a funny thing happened once with this recycled trash can. After I learned that it was for recycle only, so I would take up the other, because I was filling it with things that had nothing, you couldn't recycle them. So I was sort of doing the opposite of what it was built for. And I don't know that it was built for that, because I'm sure they just made a blue trash can and threw this logo on there. So I don't know, but anyway, that's what it's for. But I got it, like I said, maybe like 5 years ago at this garage sale. But at this garage sale, they had so many other things. They had giant oversized books. They had small turtles, many small turtles. They had a lot of children running around free. They had very, very, very beautiful shoes. So beautiful, in fact, that I didn't even want to look at them. They were heartbreaking in their beauty. What else did they had? They had calligraphy, they had mashed potatoes, they had everything at this garage sale. It was a confusing garage sale, and I mean, it says something that the only thing I bought was this, because I thought this was some kind of a futuristic symbol. Anyway, all sorts of things you can find at garage sales, and this is one of my favorite purchases. So that's a story. It's not my best story, but it's a story. And here's the thing. How do you know something's good, and how do you know something's bad? You don't. Because not all stories are meant to be one thing or the other. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves every day to do the right thing, or do this right, do this, is this funny? And we don't know. Who set these rules? Who set these? Nobody did. We just imposed them on ourselves. So when we're doing these sort of exercises, the goal of the exercise is just to tell a story. That's it. That's all I've asked you to do. It's all I asked of myself. I didn't say it had to be a funny story. I didn't say it had to be, it just has to be a story. You just have to talk. You have to tell a little story about an item. And that's what I did. And that's what I'd like you to do. And I know you can do it. So what you can do is, wherever you are, whatever room you're in, find an item and just come up with a story about it. It can be where you got it. It could be like maybe you have a strange relationship with it. This item makes you think of this. Anything you can do to just tell a story for a few minutes, that's the name of the game. And then you go to a different object and a different object, and this is something that you can do all the time. And it's just another tool in your tool belt that you'll get to a point where you can do this all the time. All the time. Someone will say, I like to do that. Someone will say, I have some friends and we'll just play this game. We'll just be sitting around, and someone will say, oh, that's a nice lamp. Where'd you get that? And I would just tell them this completely made up story about the lamp. And then I would ask them, I said, oh, that's a really nice pair of shoes. Where'd you get those shoes? And they would tell this story about a pair of shoes. It is a really fun game to play. And but it is a game that you can play by yourself. And you can play with other people. But I will sometimes do it by myself, just to sort of loosen up. If I'm going to write, if I'm going to do a show that night, it's a good warm-up exercise for me. And it could be for you as well. And, just remember to take some deep breaths and to give yourself a break and to just let your mind go. This has been fun spending some time with you. Please go back and look at the other videos that are up there, other tutorials, improv tutorials. PHAME has all sorts of different tutorials up there now. So please take a look. It's been very nice seeing you. I hope you're home safe and healthy, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, bye-bye.